Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's officially been 3 months since I've been on a GLP-1 or Ozempic, whatever you want to call it. But today I'm sharing literally everything from the pricing, from side effects, what I wish I knew before starting the medication, my advice that I would give y'all if you are thinking about starting the medication. So let's talk about it, girl. First, Dr. Pepper. Yep, girl, yep. Why did I start a GLP-1? What is a GLP-1? I've always had really tough periods, but I never really knew why I had tough periods. It was just like really tough cramping. I would have them really irregular. I never really understood that these types of periods weren't normal. And then back in 2021, I want to say, I officially got diagnosed with PCOS, which I'll leave it here. So ultimately, after I did a little bit more research on what PCOS is, I realized, one, there isn't that much research on PCOS and why it happens, and also it's really difficult to lose weight. It's really easy to gain weight. I would have really constant eating habits, and then I would start going to the gym. I would try to do some walks. I've tried cardio. I've tried like low impact exercises, so that way my stress doesn't go up, because that's also a whole other thing. Point is, I could never lose weight, and I kept gaining more and more weight, and I didn't know what to do anymore. And so I ended up going with my doctor. She at first just prescribed birth control, and I feel like that's pretty much the thing for everyone. And I was like, I don't really want to do birth control. I just keep on gaining weight on birth control and nothing's really changing. And I tried metformin, which metformin is a common medicine to try and manage PCOS symptoms. It helped a little tiny bit, but the weight was still there and it just kept getting worse. Eventually I was just like, you know what, I don't care. I'm not gonna try and do anything about my weight. It got to a point where I felt like I could not talk without being out of breath. And that's kind of what I noticed throughout my entire journey of documenting, where I would notice I would stop and kind of like that. And so I was getting tired of that, and I really just wanted to try and make a difference. That is when I found Mochi. So Mochi is a website where you have a subscription and you also pay for the medication, but you have to have the subscription to pay for the medication, because on the Mochi website you work with actual doctors, and then you also work with a nutritionist. My medication was $99, and they offer another one. It's called trizepatide or something like that. That one I believe is $199. The reason of that big difference is because the semaglutide mainly just focuses on one active ingredient, versus the trizepatide has 2 active ingredients. The way that my doctor explained it to me is, since I was starting on a lower weight and I really just wanted to lose 30 to 40 pounds, she recommended the semaglutide. If I noticed that it wasn't really working for my body, it wasn't doing anything for my body, and I was still stuck on that same weight, she wanted me to jump to the trizepatide. The reason why I chose the semaglutide though was because my doctor recommended it. It was a lot cheaper than $199 on top of the subscription, and also I was okay with staying on the medication a little bit longer. I definitely wanted to lose weight, and I think I definitely, like everybody else, want to lose weight really quickly and want to get that like instant gratification of like losing a ton of weight. But I also knew that I had to do it slowly so it can be sustainable. That's why ultimately I chose semaglutide. Before I even gave myself my medication, some of my starting symptoms were, of course, the insulin resistance. I had a lot of inflammation in my face and just overall in my body. I had really intense cravings. I've never been a sweet tooth person, but I love everything spicy. I love everything salty. Those are some of the things that I started as my symptoms. A lot of food noise. I'll put a definition of what food noise is over here. Now, before we get into the actual weight loss and how much I lost and all of these things, and also the questions, I want to go briefly over some of the symptoms that I had throughout this 3 months journey. The first one is constipation. Oh my goodness. I had so much constipation It was insane. I realized afterwards it was because I wasn't drinking enough water. Once you start drinking more water, I promise you the constipation is gonna be non-existent. But for a whole month, oh my goodness, I was so constipated. I literally relied on coffee to poop. If I didn't drink coffee, I wouldn't poop that day. It was that bad. For month 1, I was still eating the same. I hadn't made any changes. I was noticing though I would eat a little bit less. This one was really interesting, and it's kind of changed now in month 3. So month 1, I was not craving any fried food, like literally 0%. Now I still don't crave the fried food, but I'll indulge in it, whereas before I was like, no girl, no, like I literally cannot because I'm gonna get sick even thinking about it. Now I think about it and I'm like, that flauta looks good. Oh, this one was interesting. Month 1, I was craving a lot more sweets. As I just told you, I'm not a sweets person. I don't like sweets, but I was really craving sweets, which is interesting because on my Facebook group that I told y'all about in my 3-month video, if you haven't watched it, go watch it before you watch this one. I was seeing people say, these people that take more of a holistic route to medicine, they say that you start craving more sweets whenever you start eating better, because this sounds silly, but maybe it's true. You start killing the worms that live inside of you. And so because they're trying to survive, they're gonna try and make you eat more sweets because that's what they thrive on. Don't know how true that is. The food noise for month 1 was still there, unfortunately. I think it got until probably the beginning of month 2 when I stopped having that much food noise. Every now and then though, like towards the last 2 days before I have to inject myself again, I start having that food noise again. This is something that I found really interesting. My body started, and it still does, it started craving fresh foods, salads, vegetables, fruits. Those were the things that I was craving. I asked my Facebook group just to see if maybe it was just me that I was like, oh, I'm getting skinnier, so I need to eat healthier, or what. People were also craving the exact same things. So I don't know what it is about it. Started really, really loving salads. Any place that I would go, salad. Caesar salads became my shit for a while. Salad and go, love it. Love them. Continuing on with the side effects a little bit. After I gave myself my shot, girl, that's gonna be TMI, I would have the worst diarrhea of my entire life. It's still happening to this day. This is why I'm saying the day that you choose is very important. I gave myself my shot on Friday because I only work Monday through Thursday, meaning on Friday in the morning I gave myself my shot. My body would like process it without fail. At 2 in the morning I would wake up and have to run to the bathroom. I'm sorry, again, I know it's TMI. I would have to run to the bathroom at 2 in the morning because I would get the shits. Straight diarrhea. So the day that you give your shot, it might happen to you as well. Be very intentional on what day you choose to give yourself the shot. There's another side effect, whenever I went up in dosage, which I believe was week 10, that I went up in dosage, I had the worst sulfur burps ever. I've never had like sulfur burps or whatever, so I was like, it's just probably regular burps, like it's not that big of a deal. It is the nastiest thing ever. Tastes horrible, and I was just burping all day. Since then, I'm now on week 14 of this higher strength, so 4 weeks in. Haven't had that since. It was just that one time. And even before that, I did not get them. So I've talked about it a little bit, but to recap, what helped me with these symptoms? There was quite a few symptoms. I don't want you to get scared with the symptoms if you are thinking about doing it. These are the main things to remember. Drink water. Drink so much water. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I can deal with the constipation, I'll just drink coffee, you won't lose the weight. If you are not hydrating your body properly, it will affect the weight loss results. Avoiding greasy foods. Oh my gosh, please just avoid them. Because you're probably going to be eating smaller foods, focus on protein. Some ways that I would try and get protein in is by sort of like I said, the protein shakes. There's protein chips, obviously like the natural foods, the real foods, what people call them. The last advice, so that we can prevent some more side effects, take it slow. I've seen so many people on my Facebook group that they want to lose weight as quick as possible, and so they up the dosage. Eventually you're gonna get to the max dosage, right? Yes, you've been losing weight along the way, but once you reach the max, you're gonna stay on that max, and then you're gonna hit another stall. Once you hit that stall, there's nothing more, there's no room to go higher. That's why I stayed the first 2 months on the starting dose. I was still losing weight every now and then. It was only to the point that I wasn't losing any more weight, and I waited a little bit after that I was like, okay, I have to up my dosage now. And that's the only reason why I upped it. The weight is going to come off. I know how frustrating it could be that it's slow. I promise you, my journey has also been slow. It'll get there. Eventually you'll see the difference and you'll be like, shit, like that's a huge difference, but you won't notice it because you're living in it in that moment. Give yourself time, take it slow. Now some common questions. The price. The standard month-to-month subscription is $79 per month. They do have the options of 3, 6, and 12 months. You do need the subscription to be able to access the medications. There's no way around that. So you have to pay the $79, and then for my medication it was $99, and then whatever total is that, do the math, I'll put it up here for you. If you want to do the other medication, still $79, $199, and then however much the total is. How fast did it start working? Girl, if you've seen my video, it was not working for me. The first, what was it? So between week 1 and 2, I'll put the screenshot here of what I'm reading. Between week 1 and 2, I lost 3 pounds. I was over the moon about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be skinny. For 3 weeks, week 2, 3, and 4, I kept going up and down. I was at 160, but I kept going 160.2 to 160.2 to 160.4 to 160.2. I felt like someone was playing a game on me. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Week 5, I did not weigh in. I was so frustrated. I didn't even want to weigh in. I was like, fuck that. Week 6, I weighed in. This was gonna be the second week that I had given it to myself on my legs. I lost weight. I went from 160.2 on week 4 to 156.4 on week 6. The reason why I did my legs is because you are supposed to rotate. So let me go like this. You're supposed to rotate between your tummy. And so I had already given myself my shots up here. And so I had to then alternate. I personally, and this is different for everyone, I personally had the most success and the least amount of side effects when I gave it to myself on my thighs. Week 7 and 8, I didn't really lose that many pounds. Week 9, I also didn't lose that many pounds. Week 10, I went up, as you can see from the screenshot. The reason why it has a red dot is because I was on my period. Week 10, I was super frustrated because I went up in weight and I was slowly losing a pound or so, but I was so frustrated because I'm like, a pound? Only a pound? And so it was starting to get to me at that point, honestly. When I got on the scale for week 10, I was like, what the fuck? How is it that I went up if I'm eating significantly less and I'm eating so much better? It was because I'm on my period. That's another piece of advice that I will give you. Do not weigh yourself on your period. If you want to, sure, go ahead, do what you want to do. I personally did not like it because I saw the scale go up. Now I know though that it was, again, because I was on my period, and so your body is just naturally a little bit more heavier. After that, I continued to lose a little bit more weight. My initial goal at the end of this journey is that I wanted to get to at least the 140s. I think inside wanted to be like 145-ish, but I wasn't getting there. And so I was really hoping that at least I would break into the 140s. And towards the end of week 13, I ended up at 149.8. Currently, week 14, I currently weigh in at 147. I started at 163. That is a 16-pound difference, I want to say. I see it. I see it. I was gonna get in the shower today, and obviously I was naked. Right now, after eating, it is, by the way, 5 p.m. After eating all day today. However, I was my morning skinny that I used to be. Right now at 5 p.m. after eating everything. My morning skinny is now my regular. My morning skinny is when I wake up and I don't have anything in my tummy. I haven't eaten anything, so I haven't even had water, so there's no way that I'm bloated just yet. My morning skinny is now my current. 16-pound difference. 3 months. Isn't that insane? I'll show you what I currently look like after everything. Can you still drink alcohol? Yes. It just hits you. For me, it hits you a little bit later. Do you still enjoy food or have cravings? Yes, 1000%. I still have cravings. Again, more of the food noise has gone away a little bit, but I do have cravings every now and then. Are you exercising while on it? No, I'm starting to, I'm trying to, but no, I'm not exercising on it, and I wasn't during the whole 3-month journey. Do you have to take it forever? Some people do. My plan is that I want to get to a point where I meet my body goals, my weight goals, and then I want to work with my provider, my doctor, so that I can go to like a maintenance dose, be on that for a little bit, and then eventually get off of it. I don't plan on being on this forever. Will you gain weight when you stop? It depends on you. It depends on the choices that you've made up until this point. If you're making these substitutions, if you're learning how to eat a little bit healthier, if you're working out, if you've learned what to do when these food cravings come in, no, you might not gain the weight back. You might gain 1 or 2 pounds more. But I think the main thing that I've heard other people say, I'm still not off it, so I can't really say of my own personal experience. It's just continuing to be mindful of what you're putting into your body. Can you travel with it? Yes, if you have a container to keep it cold. The medicine has to stay cold. You can take like your little needles and stuff like that, just on like a separate pouch or something. I don't know what it would look like to fly with needles, but you can take your medicine if you're driving. You just, again, have to keep it in like an insulated container with like, what's it called? Ice pack. I would put an ice pack, and then my medicine, I could take it there because it's gonna stay cold, and then you could just put it in the fridge whenever you get to wherever you're going. What happens if you skip a dose? I don't know. I've never skipped a dose. That's pretty much it. That's all the questions that I got. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comments, and I will try to answer them as best as I can, as detailed as possible. If I could give someone who is thinking about starting this medication some advice, my advice would be document as much as you can. Not every day, but take a picture every week so you can look back into things, and use this as a tool. Not something that will solve everything, but as something that will help you get to where you're wanting to be. Same thing as we use food as tools, we use working out as a tool. All of these things that can contribute to this healthier state that we want to be in, use it as the same, as a tool. Go into it knowing it's gonna take a while and it's gonna be okay. You don't want to lose weight super duper quickly. You actually should prefer not to lose weight super quickly, because that will lessen the amount of stretch marks you will get, that will lessen the amount of loose skin that you will get, and also it will lessen the amount of weight that you will get when you get off of it, weight that you will get back when you get off of it. Really just enjoy the journey. It's really interesting seeing how much your body does change, and also how little you notice that it's changing, until again you look back onto videos and stuff and you realize that your body has changed a lot. Another advice that I would give you is do not be scared of the needles. That's the reason why I have the needle here. They're not as scary as we think they are. Week 1, as you saw in the video, by the way, that clip was longer than what I put in on that video. I clipped it by maybe half of the amount. It was insane how long it took me to give myself my first shot. These needles are so super duper thin. Literally, you don't feel it. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much everything that I can think of. If I missed any questions that you have, or if you're also on this journey and you want to provide your perspective, please go ahead and drop it in the comments below. I hope that this was helpful information and it's kind of brought like a different perspective on what this journey can look like for other people. Before I show you what I look like now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also turn on your post notifications. I think that's what it's called. She's a fucking YouTuber now. And yeah, let me, I guess, show you what I'm looking like. Why am I nervous? I don't know. Okay, let's do this. So this is what my body looks like right now. I noticed a lot more definition on these. This is what I'm currently looking like. This is from this side. I wanted this to connect because all of this right here, you see that line, is PCOS weight. This is what my arms are looking like. I feel like my arms, I've seen the least amount of change, but they are looking a little tiny bit smaller. I do have to give them that. I also was noticing today, this arm is smaller than this one. And this is where I started. Bodies are weird, dude. Again, let me know if you have any questions and I will talk to you in my next YouTube video. Bye, love you.